It was the first week. I'm going to upload it last week.
Welcome everyone to our first 4-point event. So happy to see you guys here in the room, and I know we have some people on live stream too, so welcome to those people as well. My name is Nikki Shake. I'm the Director of HR for Boston Brands, but probably more importantly, a member of the Leadership Council for the WERC team. So WERC, if you don't know, stands for Women Empowering Real Change. It's pretty powerful. We formed the group, launched it at the beginning of this year, and we already have over 180 members. There's 180 BSN employees that have committed their support to actively developing women in the workplace. There's 180 BSN members that are now part of your professional network that perhaps weren't there before, that you can tap into and leverage to support your own professional development. Our group is far-reaching. We have here in the office, we have people out in the field, we have a lot of women, and we also have a lot of men. This group is not just for women. It's for anybody that's interested in coming in to our group and supporting the professional development and empowerment of women in the workplace. And you also develop yourself at the same time. We have some benefits being part of this group. One is, of course, formal events such as this one. We have some social events that we're doing that focus on wellness, development, and just getting to know each other a little bit better. And then we have a LinkedIn page too, where we can go into some discussions and just talk about what's going on out there in terms of women in the workplace and in terms of development. I'll hand over shortly here to Tiffany. She's going to talk us through the Leadership Council and who's on the team, and then also tell you about some other perks that we have that are coming up that you can take part in as well.
First, I would like to go ahead and introduce the council. One moment. I'm going to go ahead and announce the council. So if you can go ahead and stand up for me, we've got Ashley Bustillos here with our customer service. We have Brittany Cook in Human Resources, Cindy Scott in Innovation, Jason Stolley, Field Sales, Susan Riley in Marketing. She is. And we have a couple of remote people as well out there. Hi guys, we have Carly Klingler in our training group, and we also have Meredith Nolan in our Field Sales Management group, and Maria Carlini, who runs a lot of the women's sports. So that's our Leadership Council. Be sure to stop us in the hallway, get to know us a little bit, connect with us on LinkedIn. If you have any questions about work, please feel free to reach out. We are here as resources, not just during these events. So she talked about some of the benefits of work. We like to call them work perks. So one work perk that is going to be coming soon here at HQ is a workshop on LinkedIn basics and how to use LinkedIn. So more details to follow on that. You can only come to the event or the training if you are a member of WERC. Another thing we've got coming up is professional headshots for LinkedIn. In order to get that benefit, you'll have to join WERC and join our private LinkedIn group. So I do want to encourage you to participate in that LinkedIn group. It's not scary at all. So just dip your toe in the online networking waters and just know it's a safe space. Before I forget, today's event is sponsored by our innovation team, so I'm going to hand the mic over to Cindy to say just a few words about innovation.
First, thank you everybody for coming. We're so excited and glad to get everybody just together and having community. But to talk a little bit about our innovation team, we are a 2-year-old team, so a lot of people are like, what is innovation? But we are a team that helps drive the way that we sell. So a lot of the things like My Team Shop Wizard or Sideline Stores or the Engage tool that you guys, a lot of you are using now. We're helping kind of create that and allow you guys to kind of get everybody time back, as well as finding new ways for us to break into markets that we currently aren't in. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me or anybody on our team. Sit back here in the corner, and everybody will be more than happy to answer your questions. So much.
All right, I'm going to turn it back over to Nikki, who's going to formally introduce our speaker.
Thank you.
I mean, ultimately, we formed a women's group for a couple of reasons, right? We know that we operate in a predominantly male-dominated industry, right? And so we want the BSN to be an inclusive place to work. But also, we know that when companies really embrace and embody inclusion, they achieve great results. So we do have a guest speaker here today. We're very lucky to have Dr. Julie Bell. Julie is actually a former Varsity Spirit employee, which we didn't know when we connected, so coincidences. Julie is the founder and president of the Mind Over Champion. She's been an entrepreneur for 20 years and works with some top athletes and coaches, executives as well. She's going to talk to us today about the game of confidence. I mean, how many of us have held ourselves back because we thought that we're not ready for something, and we're just not confident enough. So we hold ourselves back from achieving things that we're really capable of doing. So Julie's going to talk to us for the next 40 minutes or so. To break through that. So join me in welcoming Julie up here.
Good afternoon. You can hear me. Hi. I'm Julie Bell. I'm with the Mind of a Champion. So we have the heart of an athlete and the heart of the game and the mind of a champion. There we go. Got nowhere else to go but up. So I'm Julie Bell with the Mind of a Champion. My background is in sports psychology. So sports psychology is different than clinical or counseling psychology because I don't get to analyze or diagnose anyone professionally. What I get to do is just say, where are you now and where do you want to go? And then together we work on your thinking. So it's more the coaching side than the analyst side of psychology. And I get to work with great athletes and great coaches, and I spend most of my work in companies taking the same principles of sports psychology and applying them to all areas of life. Because we believe that mindset matters in everything that you do. Whether you are leading a team, mindset matters. Whether you are parenting your superstar, mindset matters. If you are closing a sale, mindset matters. And then certainly if you're working on your golf game, mindset matters. And so just curious, do we have any athletes in the room? Does anybody play golf? Anybody own golf clubs but you're too embarrassed by your sport to call yourself a golfer? I'll take those too. I'm super happy to connect with people, so if I ask a question, go ahead and answer. So we have a few golfers. How about tennis? Anybody play tennis? Soccer? Kids who play soccer? Basketball? Fishing? Anglers? Any anglers in the room? Yeah, I know what stories to use. What sports have I not gone by? Volleyball. Anybody not like sports? It would be weird because you're working here. So I'll give you some stories from some of the great athletes and coaches that I've worked with to be able to talk about confidence. So mindset matters in everything that you do. And here's just a quick example. Let's just say you wanted to get better at remembering people's names. Has anybody ever had that? Like they want to get better at remembering people's names? Okay, so this half of the room over here, when you leave today, you're going to try to get better at remembering people's names, all right? So your mindset, you walk out of here, I am going to try to get better. Can we all agree to do that? Thank you very much. And this side of the room over here, you are going to leave with the mindset that you will practice getting better at remembering people's names. Got it? So you're going to leave, you're going to practice getting better at remembering people's names. And what would happen if we were all back together in a couple of months, and this side of the room has been trying, and this side of the room has been practicing? Who would be better at remembering people's names?
Our side.
We would.
Any doubt at all? The practice side? Absolutely, 100%. Why? Why is that? Why would practice be better than trying?
It's active.
It's active. You know you're going to get better at it. If you try and you don't like it, you just spit it out. So the mindset matters in everything that you do. And confidence is a mindset. So mindset is basically your thoughts. Researchers tell us we have 50,000 to 80,000 thoughts every single day. In fact, some research puts that number higher at 150,000. The most interesting research in mindset is that 80% of our thoughts are repetitive. So you have had those thoughts before. On any given day, 80% of what you're thinking, you've thought it before. And so without conscious thought on your thinking, you will just default to habits. And so we have to know what we are thinking. In the book Decisive, the Heath brothers talk about Van Halen and how they used to have in their contract, in the contract they would put, we want back our thinking. In sports, we call these triggers or cues or reminders. So if you've been in sports before, you might know, like a golfer could pull on his pant leg or touch a hat to start a pre-shot routine. That's a trigger. Or in basketball, you pop a rubber band every time you change to defense that you remember to have intensity. And so as we look at the game of confidence, we want to remind ourselves to use a trigger to be confident. And again, it's a teachable skill, so we'll be able to do that. Hey, there are 3 principles of the mind that if we can all agree on, the rest of the things that I talk about will be much better. So the first principle of the mind is that your mind is powerful. Have you ever thought about that before? Your mind is powerful. In the psychology world, the diagnosis, the counseling side of psychology, we have stories about split personalities, and somebody can be allergic to orange juice with personality A, but personality B comes out and they're not allergic to orange juice. So there's this tremendous amount of power in our brain. I will show you how powerful your brain is with this next slide. Will you read this out loud with me? So according to research at Cambridge University, the rest is your nest, and you can still read it without problem.
This is because the human mind does not read every letter by itself, but the word as a whole.
Isn't that cool? Your brain is so cool. Okay, kiss your brain. The elementary librarians go, kiss your brain. Like that. So what do you kiss your brain? It's just a fun thing to do. So actually the information there is not correct, but your brain is cool. So it was not at Cambridge, it was something outside of Cambridge, and it wasn't research, it was a doctoral paper. And it does matter a little bit what order they're in, but the bottom line is your mind is powerful, which is great news. Because the second principle of the mind is that you control your mind. Have you ever thought about that? That you control your mind. Do this with me. I want you to think of a song that you know a few words to. Everyone think of a song you know a few words to. If you don't have a song, use Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And I want you to sing this song in your head without anyone in the room knowing what song you're singing. So just in your head. Are you ready? Go. And stop. We're going to do it again, the same song, same words, only this time have it go faster. Go. And stop. One more time. Same song, same words, only this time slow it down. Go. And stop. So by show of hands, how many people could do that? You can speed it up and you can slow it down. Good, you get to stay in the room. So you control your mind. As easy as it is to speed up a song or slow down a song, that's how easy it is to control your mind. And when you put these 2 principles together, that your mind is powerful and you control your mind, you realize that you have a choice in your thinking. And it's the choices you make in your thinking that directly influence your actions. An easier way to say this is that your thoughts lead to your actions. So where were my basketball players, basketball fans, anyone basketball? You've ever seen basketball? Again, that need to connect, I really am serious about that. So I was working with a basketball player, a college player, and he was in a free throw shooting slump. He was 96% accurate at practice. He was 17% in games. He held the record in the NCAA as the worst free throw shooter at the time. And as a sports psychologist, I'm not going to lie, that's your best client. They got nowhere to go but up. And so I met with this player, we were out on the court, and I said, hey, what changes between practice and games? Do you forget how to shoot a free throw? Nope. I said, well, does the crowd bother you? No, that's not it. Well, what about your coach? Are you worried about your coach? He kept saying, no, that's not it, that's not it. And then he did something very interesting. Dribbles the ball, steps up. Practice, you don't think that way. At practice, you step up and you shoot the ball, and you count how many you're making, and you anticipate the next one going in. But in a game, the only difference between practice and a game is one thought. I'm jinxed from the line. And that thought dropped his percentages from high 90s to below 20%. Hey, there's a physical reason for that. Are y'all curious what it is? Stand up, I'll show you. If you're in heels, be careful. So stand up. So you're this player, there's no pressure, it's practice. You're great. If you're watching it streaming, go ahead and stand up at your desk and get a little blood flowing in your brain anyway. So just shake it out just a little bit. And will you all just jump up in the air? improve or change. And so game is just a whole lot easier. So can you identify your game right now and turn to somebody next to you and tell them what your game is? That area of your life you want to improve or change? Will you tell somebody next to you? This is called accountability. And networking, all at the same time. What's your game? What's your game? What's your game? Okay, so I need three people. I need three people to tell me what your game is. So let's start from this side of the room. What's one person will you tell me? Here's my life. One person, camera's on me, they don't know who you are. Can somebody over here tell me what your game is?
Remembering people's names.
Awesome. Sydney, we talked earlier. Okay, about right here in the middle, our little like close-knit group right here. Will somebody share their game?
Calling people on the phone.
Like cold call?
Yeah.
Cold call. I got a story for you. I have no call reluctance. Never in my life, really. So game is cold calling. I want to get better at that. I want to, that's the part of my life I want to improve or change. This side of the room right here. Saying no or saying yes to the right things. Yes.
Oh.
So that's improving our time management, our mind management, all of that. So keep your game in mind as we talk about confidence. So everyone has a coach assigned to you right now that can either maximize your game or it can get you on the sideline. And it's that voice in your head. So that voice in your head, research call it self-talk, but we like to call it your coaching voice because it's more accurate. So that voice in your head is saying, let's go, you're amazing. Or sometimes that voice in your head is saying, not today, sister. So that voice in your head, we know three things about it. Number one, you have had it for a while. You started hearing that voice in your head around the age of 5. Around the age of 5, you started paying attention to that. I can remember when my girls, I have a son too, but when my girls were walking to the car, my oldest was around the age of 5, and she goes, Mom, I can talk to myself and no one can hear me. And so we had a little conversation, and then she got in the car, and her sister said, she tells her sister, and she goes, well, I want to hear. And so she goes, well, stick your ear up next to mine and see if you can hear it. So nobody else can hear that voice, so you don't really understand it at 5, but you start hearing it at the age of 5. The second thing we know is that it's trainable. So you can fire that coach in your head and hire a new one, an upgraded coach, any day. And here's how you know if you need to fire your coach. Would you pay someone to talk to you the way you talk to yourself? If the answer to that question is no, then you need to fire your coach, and we'll work on hiring a new one. And then the third thing that we know about your coaching voice is that it's the most influential coach you will ever have. That voice in your head is the most influential coach you will ever have. Because it goes with you to work, it goes home with you, it wakes up, it goes to sleep. That voice in your head has more influence over you than anything else you've got. So we need to find out what that voice is talking to you about. We have to recognize it, we have to refocus, and then we need to create routines or habits of the mind. So let's start by recognizing your thinking. There are 4 typical thinking patterns that we have to understand before we can get into the game of confidence. And the first one is this monkey on your back. The M is for the monkey on your back. So let's just say I was going to call somebody up to give part of this presentation. You know, some people are like, oh yeah, me, give me a microphone, I'm up there. And other people are like, is she going to call me? Is she going to call me? And your head's looking down, I'm not going to call on you, so go ahead and keep looking at me. So let's just say you were going to come up here to give a presentation, and well, let's just imagine that. So could you do that with me right now? So just imagine that you're going to walk up here, you're going to turn and look at this lovely group of people, and you're going to give part of this presentation. You can talk about what you do at BSN, you can talk about your dog, you can talk about the weather, but whatever you're talking about, you're amazing. So could you just close your eyes for a minute and imagine yourself walking up here, turning with a big smile, and being amazing? Can you see yourself being amazing for just a moment? Go ahead and close your eyes, be amazing. Pause. If you're having a standing ovation, you get another chance. That's so hang on a second. So open your eyes. Now, let's say you were walking up here, and this monkey jumps on your back. Monkey on your back. That name is for monkey on your back. What are some of the things the monkey on your back might say? By the way, it's everything that could possibly go wrong. So what would it say to you? Don't fall. Don't fall. Like you did in 2nd grade when you were the narrator? It didn't happen to me. So yes, it's going to say don't fall. And then it keeps going. It doesn't ever just say one thing. So what else is it going to say?
Don't stutter.
Don't stutter. Don't say like, don't say, it's going to tell you, it's going to, see, I just heard myself say it. So it's going to tell you, they know more than you do. Nobody wants to be there. Your shoes don't match. I mean, it just gets personal in every kind of way. So here's what I want you to do. Find somebody sitting next to you and decide if you're going to be the A person or the B person. And if there's 3 of you, pick 2 A's and 1 B. But meet each other. Hi, my name is Julie. So get a partner. A and B. I'm A. I'm B. Now focus. All the A's in the group, raise your hand. If you are an A, raise your hand. You're my A. A, you accept our job. If you're an A, you have to be amazing. So in just a minute, not right now, all the A's in the group are going to close their eyes. They're going to watch themselves do a presentation, and they are on their A game, and they are amazing. If you're an A and you can do that, just nod your head for me. Thank you very much. All the B's in the room, where are the B's? B's, you are going to be the monkey on their back. So you're going to talk about that. And you're going to say things like, you're so under here. Nobody really wants to hear that. And you're going to tell them everything that could possibly, I apologize. You're going to tell them everything that could go wrong, except you can't get personal, because that's just me. So just, if you're the monkey on the back, talk about the presentation. If you're person B. If you're person A, you're going to close your eyes and be amazing. Person B, when you're the monkey on the back, you literally have to talk out loud. Does everybody understand that? Because they cannot hear you if you don't talk out loud. So, A, is amazing. B, get up next to them and tell them everything that could be possibly going wrong. Are you ready? Begin.
Good eye contact. Good job.
And so, person B, you're going to close your eyes, you're going to be brilliant, you're scoring on your test, and you are going to give a presentation. And then person A, it's payback time, and if you want to get personal, There's a very small percentage of the population that says yes, but for most of us, we go, no. I saw myself tripping and falling, I spit on people, I was staring, I didn't know what to say. And whatever that monkey on our back was saying, that's what we were thinking. And so remember a little while ago when I asked if you could speed up a song or slow down a song, and you raised your hand and you said, yeah, I can do that. I control my mind. And so if you get that monkey on your back, it's a choice you make in your thinking. You make a choice to keep it there, or you make a choice to get the monkey off your back. And so we have to recognize that so that we can refocus. Much better use of your brain time is counting to 10. Or even thinking about, if you were asked to come up here, there's a reason. What is that reason? Why are you being chosen? And if you can focus on that rather than everything that could possibly go wrong, you're going to bring your little confidence with you. Don't worry, we're getting more into that. We just have to recognize our thinking before we can actually train and refocus. Monkey on your back, typical thinking pattern. It's actually because we're trained to do that at a very young age. We get our homework back on 10, by 7. Here's what you've done wrong. And usually it's in red. And so we train ourselves on everything that could possibly go wrong rather than that correction or what we want to happen. So the I is for intimidated. Does anybody know anybody, not that you would ever be intimidated, but has anybody ever known anybody who's been intimidated? Yeah, of course. And so the I is for intimidated. The only way to have that not so confident feeling, it's almost the opposite of confident. To be intimidated, you have to build up other things or other people. And you build them up so much in your mind that you forget your talents and your strengths and your resources. So my favorite people to pick on are golfers. So you have 5 acres of green grass in front of you, and you have this little bitty sand trap, would you look at that same trap? I mean, they'll live on that trap, and they start talking about the trap, and guess where the ball goes? In the sand trap, because they've been thinking about it, but they build it up so much in their mind instead of looking at where they want to go. And so we can be intimidated by Mondays, we can be intimidated by a client, we can be intimidated by a peer. We can be intimidated walking into a room full of women who are always put together and have great looking shoes, right? So we build it up so much in our mind that we forget what our skills, what our strengths, what our resources, what our relationships are all about. It's a choice we make in our thinking. Third typical thinking pattern that again is for the natural mindset. In sports, we call it a peak performance. Anybody ever been there? Anybody ever had an hour where things are clicking? Got a few more people in here. All right, awesome. So that natural mindset, you have to be well trained because you're trusting that training. That's why continuing education is so important. So you're well trained and then you let it happen rather than talking yourself out of it with a monkey on your back or being intimidated. And then that D is for the determined. And the determined mindset just says, I am going to focus on solutions and corrections rather than problems and mistakes. So I grew up in gymnastics with Julie. Surprise! It was a long time ago. So I grew up in gymnastics and I'm a gymnast and I'm on the balance beam when I start to fall and I say, don't fall, what am I thinking about?
Falling.
Falling. And so the determined mindset is on correction, shoulders up, hips square. So the correction rather than the mistake is that determined mindset. Hey, clasp your hands together for me. You know, people are naturally a right thumb on top or a left thumb on top. It doesn't mean anything, but when they're going to make it mean something. So right now it doesn't mean anything. Shake it out and do it again. Is it the same way? Awesome. You can do it with your eyes closed. You can do it behind your back. You can do it over your head. You are well trained. Now, on purpose, make your hands go the other way. Ooh, comfortable? No, it's not comfortable. But can you do it? Absolutely. It takes effort. Is the effort in your brain or in your fingers? It's in your brain. So this is the determined mindset. And if you did it long enough, do you know what happens? It becomes natural. So we can choose to be in that determined mindset and then train ourselves to be in that natural mindset more often. So once we recognize our thinking, we can refocus, which means we can think differently. And if you want to bring your game of confidence, you have to think differently. So this side of the room over here, what is confidence? I want you to decide right now, definition, talk to each other, what is confidence? In the middle of the room, you guys are going to say, when do you need confidence? When do you need it? Talk to somebody next to you. And this side of the room is going to talk about, hey, what does confidence look like? So we're going to find out what it looks like. We're going to find out when you need it. And we're going to actually find out what it is. You have about 25 seconds.
Whoa, what's that? When do you need it? In comfortable situations? Is it a natural state? It's probably
Okay, time out. Let's start with definition. Hey, what is confidence? Believing in yourself, positive thinking. You think of believing in yourself, positive thinking, and knowing that you can do it, right? Okay, so definition, what does it look like? What does confidence look like? Eye contact, absolutely. What else? Yeah, just be it your presence, the way you walk, with a purpose, shoulders up, being easy, relaxed, firm handshake, all those great things. That's what confidence looks like. It actually has a sound too. Have you ever thought about that? Confidence has a sound. Does my mic go in and out?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I'll stand in the middle so you can hear me. So the confidence has a sound too, like kind of try, maybe, hopefully. I'm going to kind of try to maybe, hopefully, sort of call you next week. Are you going to clear it out on your board or not? No. So it has a look, we have a definition of it. Hey, when do we need confidence? Decision making, learning, every day. Seriously, cooking with a recipe. Because if you're not quite confident when you're cooking with a recipe, do you follow the recipe? No. You just make something else up. So we need confidence in all areas of life. But how much confidence is the right amount of confidence? 100%? 80%? 97.2%? How many are my 100%? what I strive for. Do you have any of those? Okay, so you're going in for surgery tomorrow, and you're on the table. It's her surgery. And your surgeon walks up, and he looks at you, and he goes, 92% confident today. Anybody want to change their answer? So, 80% confident is 20% doubt. And doubt always changes your skill. So we want to go for 100% confidence. Hang on, stick with me. I know what questions you're going to ask. What about arrogance? So I went to school with Barry Sanders. Do you guys remember Barry Sanders? Long time ago, Heisman Trophy winner, Oklahoma State University. Heisman Trophy winner from Oklahoma State University. Did I say that so Barry Sanders played for Detroit Lions. He's a great guy, super confident guy, incredibly humble. Did you know that Barry Sanders played at the exact same time as Deion Sanders? Y'all remember Deion Sanders? He's on billboards all over Dallas, if you don't remember him. So Deion Sanders is also a player, but he had a different way that he portrayed himself to the media. So confidence and arrogance are not the same thing. Confidence is a belief in yourself. Now, the biggest mistake we make in confidence is that we tie our confidence to an outcome rather than our ability to create the outcome. That's so important, and my mic was off, I'm going to say it one more time. Is it on? Yes. The biggest mistake we make in confidence is that we tie our confidence to an outcome rather than our ability to create the outcome. So let's say I'm in sales. Sales. Great sale, get appointments, confidence high, get a no, confidence goes down, get a yes, confidence goes up. And we're on this roller coaster of confidence. Well, I have to tell you, in sales, it's not price or product that has the greatest influence, it's the confidence of the seller. So if you're on a roller coaster in your confidence, then you're on a roller coaster in your results. There's just no doubt about it. So what about remembering people's names? Do you need confidence to be able to say somebody's name out loud? Yes, because in your head, your coaching voice is like, oh, was it Nikki or Nicole? Nikki or Nicole? And so you just look down and you walk away, right? So you have to be like, just say it boldly, say it wrong, and I'm going to correct you. So you just have to have confidence in everything that you're doing. That 100% confidence, because 80 or even 92% confident that I'm going to have the right name, that 8% will keep me from saying it out loud. So confidence at 100% matters. So if we want to be confident in the skill or our ability to create the outcome, we have to know what skills are involved. So look at your game, that area of your life that you want to improve or change. The area of your life you want to improve or change, what do you need to be confident in? So not in your outcome, but what do you need to be confident in? Hey, you don't know anybody who ever has been in this health kick, like they want to get healthy? Like maybe go to the gym or lose weight, right? And so what is the confidence in? If the confidence in the results, like let's say you're weighing yourself, if your confidence is in your results, when you're not getting your results, you stop playing the game. Does that make sense? So our confidence has to be in our plan or our skills or our choices, whatever we're doing. So did you know that you can literally train confidence? Did you know that? Well, I'm going to show you how. Because unintentionally, we're methodically trained down. So I want you to look at this slide up here. So we're going to learn how to think like a winner. So this scale right here is your personal evaluation. So that game, that area of your life you want to improve or change, is going to be evaluated right here. On the far right side is a 0. This is bad or terrible, or you hope nobody was watching. And then on the 10 side of things, this is you're exceptional, you're amazing, but you're not there all the time. You just know you could be with a little bit of practice. And then right there in the middle, that average, that is your average, where you are consistently today. So again, average is where you are consistently today, 0 is your terrible, you're below your average, and 10, that is your exceptional, and with a little bit of practice, you will get there. So, if this is how you evaluate yourself, let's say, do we have any to-do list kind of people? Anybody love to-do lists so much that you put things on the to-do list after you've done them just so you can check them off? Yeah. You are speaking my love language right now. Okay, so let's just say on average, for your area that you want to improve or change? Below average? I'm 100% in agreement. So if you don't like the word failure, just call it a mistake. But if you know where your average is and you're consistently at your average, but today you're a little bit below your average, like I only got 2 out of 25 things on my to-do list, that is below my average. So let's just call it a mistake or failure and move on. But how good does something have to be for you to call it success? Above average? Not that. But do you know, I know people who would say, when I hit my goal, when I hit my 10, then I'll call it success. Do you know anybody like that? There are those to-do list people who have their to-do list done every day, but today they got 13 out of 15. That's above average. Do you see that? Above average. But on the way home, are they thinking about the 13 or are they thinking about the 2? The 2. You might know people that use this chart. And you're probably in the room because I've made eye contact with you, but I'm not going to out you just yet. So what happens if this is our definition of success? Do you know what happens by default? Everything else just became failure. So that area of your life that you want to improve or change, you are above average at it. You are better than your average. Driving home, calling yourself a failure. How good will you be at it tomorrow? Not much better. Because if you consistently are above your average, you're consistently focused, you're consistently working on it, and you're calling yourself a failure over and over, that is not motivating. That is not thinking like a winner. So what would happen? What would happen if you use the right scale? And the right scale is average, where I am consistently today, and below, I'm going to call it failure, what it is, I'm going to correct it and move on. But from my average to my excellent, what would happen if I called it success? I would methodically train my confidence. Because researchers tell us every time we have failure, we give ourselves a reason to doubt. And every time we have success, we give ourselves a reason to be confident. And if we're using the wrong scale, should be more confident, but instead, we are methodically training down. Does that make sense? So think about that in terms of that game, the area of your life you want to improve or change. Are you a little bit better than average at calling yourself a failure? So I want to be on time. I want to start being on time, and I'm never on time. Except I was on time after lunch today, and I was on time 2 days ago to a meeting, but I'm not going to count it because I wasn't perfectly on time everywhere. Does that make sense? And so when I call myself a failure, I will never consistently be on time. So we have to think like a winner every day. So people always say, hey, does this encourage couch potatoes? No, actually it doesn't. I can guarantee you it doesn't. Because nobody wants to be average. Like how many people, if I had t-shirts back here and they said, I'm average, how many are like, ooh, that's a new product we should wear? No, it's not. But the reality is that you are your average. You're average. Yeah, they had a speaker come into this work group and she just yelled at everybody, you're average, you're average. But you are your average. And the great thing about that is that you've got more game in you. And when you're consistently performing at your 8, guess what? Your 8 is now your new average. And there's a whole nother level that you can't even imagine today. Now, I do have people that say, hey, Julie, but I'm a 10 all the time. Like, I'm just a 10. And so I would say your 10 is your average. But by the way, sometimes your average will blow them away. So we just have to recognize what we want to improve. We have to just own it. I yell at my kids like 6 times a day. Don't judge me, I've yelled at them 12. So I yell at my kids 6 times a day. That's my average, and I have a 10 in me. And so I'm going to work towards it. You know, if I only yell at them 3 times, that is like way winning in my book. So I have 3 kids, average it out. That is a good day. So your average will blow them away. So confidence, it's about training confidence instead of doubt. It's about building to that 100% confident in your skill, not in the outcome. So when we recognize our thinking, we can refocus, and then we can create some new habits or new routines in our thinking. So if there's nothing else you remember this. That voice in your head will make you or break you. That voice in your head will bring down your confidence, or it will leave it at home. And confidence can be trained. So we still have, we still have a few minutes for Q&A. So here's what I want to do. So I want you to practice getting your voice in the room. Turn to your table and say, here's one thing I want to remember. Or if you have a question, ask together in a group, and then you'll vet the question with your friends, and they go, ooh, that's a good one. That's the one that you bring into the room, all right? So
and then turn off the lapel.
Introduce yourself.
I think she like dumbed it down when she was like, area you were confident would be more, the area you were like would be more confident, what skills you needed to achieve. Like, kind of like setting goals, like kind of broke it down into, instead of thinking about like how to make confident, it's like thinking, it's just what skills you need. No, I agree.
My friend. What's up? How are you, buddy? I'm good. How you doing? Good, man.
Like, confidence is not on a scale. Like, you should, if you're not confident 100%, then you're not confident. You know what I mean? Like, that is like huge because I can be like, I'm confident, but I'm not going to say it because that's maybe not. You know what I mean? You're doubting yourself. Like, that's already tough. And I feel like that's what it is. Not being 100% authentic with who I am in this situation because I'm doubtful and it's a small area, but that's the reality. So, remembering that, I think that's
And again, I'm kind of out. It must be interesting. Okay, so who wants to go? Seriously. Who wants to go first? So I'm going to get 7 responses. And for any of you who are in sales, you know about that 7 seconds of silence, right? So that 7 seconds of silence that says you have to be quiet for 7 seconds before anybody gets so uncomfortable that they'll break the silence. I am so good at that, I can go to 24. So when I say we're getting 7 responses, we are getting 7 responses. So who wants to go first? Either something you remember or a question you have. Oh, good.
How do you define your average?
So how do you define what your average is? I think that's a great question. People will naturally go to the results to define their average. I'd like you to back it up to the play. So even in sales, so our sales results are from choosing the right people. So what's your average on follow-up? So is it, I follow up 80% of the time, I follow up within 24 hours, or you think descriptively, how did you?
I would say,
I know, it's awesome. Hey, y'all getting out. So what's your average on follow-up? So if you were going to get better on follow-up, you got to know where you're starting from. So just give some work so that we can start helping Jacqueline build her average. Ah, there you go. So when I'm in control of my schedule, my follow-up is, it's timely, it's within the hour, but when the season, when I have a lot of projects going on, my follow-up is 4 days or something like that. So even defining it in terms of season would be helpful too, because then it's easier to be better than average. Yeah, thanks for that. Okay, that was 1. Who else is going to go?
There she is.
Not working. Oh, awesome.
I'll just share.
Yeah.
I'll just share what I want to remember from this.
Thank you.
I liked how you said that 80% confidence is 20% doubt. So really, having 80% confidence means that you're not confident. So understanding that, and I do a lot of speeches and presentations. So for me, it's like, oh, I'm not going to say that because maybe it's not, and just that's doubt. So I may say, I'm confident, but that's not confident. So being able to own my space authentically and understand that, hey, you're either 100% confident or you're not. Yeah.
I love that. Can everybody hear that? So just talking about the 80% confident is 20% down and what that does. And I guarantee you're sitting in a meeting and you want to be a powerful woman in the room and you've got 20% down and you are hesitating or making excuses for interrupting and using words like doubt or kinda or maybe or try or we can kinda sorta, and that will not get you anywhere in the room. And so you have to be certain of what your confidence is in, your preparation, your analytics, your research, your timeliness, your relationships in the room. There's so many things to be confident in. But if you're only confident in the outcome, what will they think of me if I say this? Then it's a roller coaster. Right there. Thank you, that was 2. Okay, who's going next? We have 5 more. Yes.
My name is Arthur. It's not a room
a good idea. Bob said.
I live by this philosophy, right? That I'm invincible until I'm proven wrong, right? So
Okay.
I can do anything.
Fake it till you make it. I got it, yeah.
Right? So what are your thoughts on that philosophy?
So I believe that you can never be overconfident, but I absolutely believe we can be underprepared. Yeah. So I want to go in all confidence, but you better have something to be confident in. So you want to make sure your preparation matches what you're being asked to do. Yeah. Okay, was that 3? Awesome. Who's going number 4?
I think what I took away from the conversation is what you went with make like a winner, because I tend to, here's my average, if I didn't hit 100%, then
It's failure. Yes.
It's not 100%, so changing my mindset in that, then it's not failure if I hit 8%.
Yeah, it's
Above my average.
absolutely above your average. So your average will always be right there at 5 because you're growing and you're building. But the 10 is what keeps moving as you just get better and more game in you. And so if you can think about that scale, you can methodically train confidence. And you have unbelievable results because of it. So I appreciate that. Thank you. So our overachievers clearly are sitting right here because we have 3 answers from the middle of the room. So I'm not going to point anybody out for not saying anything yet, but does anybody else have so we're on 4, we have 3 more. Oh, thank you.
The thing that I was taking away most is being able to catch yourself in that inner dialogue that you have.
Yes.
It's very easy to get sucked into it and convince yourself to not do something. So to be able to fight that in the beginning and then push yourself up.
And when we talk about those repetitive thoughts, that 80% of your repetitive thoughts are repetitive, they were never said out loud. They are the things that are in your head, those stories that you tell yourself. You've got to be that Dos Equis man. Tell yourself the truth or a better version of it, right? So you've got to change the story that you're telling yourself. Because a lot of times we make up things in other people's head that are not helpful to us. Can I tell you one quick story? It's super funny. So I was checking out, I don't think anybody said yes, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you. So I was getting my hair done, and it had been in the summer, I was wearing shorts, and this woman I was checking out, she goes, wow, you don't even care. I mean, my legs are so wide. Oh my God. Wow, I think she thinks she's complimenting me, because I have never been insulted with that much enthusiasm in my life. And so I was like, oh wow. And then I just never self-tuner. So, but so you tell yourself, so you could either be crushed by that, or you could be like, wow, she really thinks she's complimenting me. That's what I said in my head, and I just went with it. It's been a funny story for years. Okay, so we're at 5 now, 5. Yes, over here.
You brought up Beyonce as a very Sanders. So do you think there's like a happy medium and being, you said there's such a thing as overconfidence, but we all know Beyonce was on that high extremely confident.
And Barry has the same amount of confidence, it's just the way he portrays it is different. And so that's your game. Like how you portray your confidence, that is totally up to you. And so you can be super humble or you can be totally out there. That is 100% up to you. What I want is that inner belief. I want that to be 100% confident. Yeah. In your skills, in your abilities, in your plan, in your education, in your resources, all of those things that you can train and get better at. Is that 5 or 6? 6, we've got one more. He's going to be right here.
As you know, the thoughts that we have are repetitive, so 80% is already thought before, which means it's habitual. How do you become more mindful of the thoughts that you're getting and bring yourself out of that thought process?
So glad you asked. How do you become more mindful of your thinking? Well, remember when we talked about triggers in the beginning with the Van Halen and the Brad M&Ms or golfers and pulling on pant leg? So we can set up a trigger to go, what am I thinking? Right? So you could use a reflection. And every time you see a reflection, you ask yourself, what am I thinking right now? You could use a color of like a green. And every time you see a green pen or you see green in the room, you ask yourself. I use triggers in a lot of things that I'm doing. In fact, my husband's contact information in my phone is My Love Bell. So his first name is My Love, last name is Bell. And so every time he calls, his picture comes up and it says, My love is calling. And sometimes I go, oh. And sometimes I go, oh yeah. your thinking. We can also write down our thoughts because we have consistency in them. And so if it's not true, find a better version of the truth. Over here, write them down and then start practicing saying those. Yeah. So thank you for your time. Loved being here with you. And if I have it my way, I'll be back. And so I'll be able to get my arms around you, be able to work with you and coach you. I do know this, people don't change things in a one-time setting. So nobody learns to ride a bike in a workshop. Nobody changes their thinking in a one-hour event. And so there'll be follow-up information. And in that, if you want to have these, we do 1 or 2 minute video follow-ups that are available for you all. So if you want a season of reminders, you can ask for those and we'll get you on a list and get those sent out to you for the micro champion. Let's bring